Right for Creighton, you got Toby Higgins on the left, Maurice Watson Jr. on the right. Statement from Greg McGurk.
Well, we hammered into the guys the last couple days in preparation for this game the need to take away the three-point shot and make their three-point shots challenge threes. I thought for the most part we did that, probably almost to a fault. I think we got caught in some situations where there should have been help situations, and we didn't get to where we needed to get. So I didn't necessarily like the fact we didn't protect the rim very well. Our help and our recovery wasn't where it needed to be. Liked how we started the game, and then they got a few easy ones against our press and against our zone, and that gave them a little life the first half. Obviously, this is a very talented team that we have offensively. We just have to find a defensive identity to go with that. And with as many new faces as we have, obviously that's going to be a process. But I like the fact that this group shares the basketball. They make the extra pass. I think we have a chance to be a very balanced team. This is really 2 games in a row with the Missouri scrimmage where we've had 5 guys in double figures, another guy with 9, another guy with 8. That was exactly how it went down at Missouri. And then we had a couple guys with 7 too. So I think we have a lot of people that can score the basketball in different ways. And obviously our ability to shoot the three-point shot is going to be a big part of who we are.
Questions first for the student athletes.
Well, it looked like you were about ready to jump out of your skin before that game started. I guess just how excited are you to get this past you now?
I'm definitely excited to get this out the way. I definitely thought the scrimmage and the Italy trip helped me a lot. But the big thing for me was I just never played in front of this many fans before. So I was excited about that. This is like living out the dream right here, playing in front of all these fans and playing for a great team and a great coaching staff. So I'm really not worried about myself right now. I'm just worried about what we can take back from this game to get better for our first game next week.
The role players, I guess, obviously working on a lot of things to help your team get better in practice, but this was probably the first time you guys kind of got to jump into a scouting report and kind of figure out how to display another team. I guess, how did you think you guys followed that scouting report today?
I think we followed it pretty well. Like Coach Matt said, we wanted to take them off the line or make them contested threes, and I feel we did that throughout most of the game. Where we struggled was rebounding, obviously, and that's going to hurt us, and we can't do that. And now being in the Big East, we can't have a night like that.
I think we followed the scouting report with the time that we had, and I think that it's more about us, and we just can't have this many mental lapses. I don't think that we can get comfortable with leads, and we can play content, and I think that's what we did. I think we knew we could score, so we weren't as hard-nosed and as tough as we needed to be. And we ended up coming back to out-rebound them by 1, but that we don't want to out-rebound teams by 1. We need to be willing to get stops and run. So I think that we followed our scouting report to stop them, but I don't think that we follow our own keys to the game.
Toby, Greg said obviously the three-point shot's going to be a big part of what you guys do this year. A year ago, obviously you had some trouble as a team shooting the three. What makes you guys more confident this year that those shots are going to go down?
I would have to say having our teammates say keep shooting, keep putting them up. You don't lose confidence is definitely a key to our confidence. But I feel more people are in the gym more often throughout the day, getting their own shots, doing their own work, and getting better by themselves, which is helping us both offensively, attacking the hoop, and as well as shooting. So I feel getting in the gym has definitely helped us out a lot more by ourselves.
Kind of on the flip side, a lot of times three-point accuracy is dependent upon where you get that shot.
Mm-hmm.
You guys getting better shots, maybe because of how your point guards are handling the ball?
Wap handled the ball like he should. I mean, he attacked the lane and he found the open man a lot and that's what he does. And it's definitely helped us because we have more people that are getting to the lane, looking for those shooters. We have, like Coach Matt said, we have weapons on the offensive end everywhere. So it's just a matter of hitting the paint and spraying to the open shooters.
Maurice, I guess one of the big areas this year is going to be the shot clock, obviously. So possessions where you guys score in 3 seconds, 5 seconds, getting the ball up quick. I guess how important is it for you guys, or how much emphasis you guys pushing the tempo this year?
Definitely, the biggest emphasis in offense right now is run. On makes and misses, especially with the new rules, with me being able to get into the paint. Guys can't really play as physical, so I get deeper than I expect sometimes. And guys are there to help, and it's getting them up quick. We have so many shooters that it's not like we have to give up a shot for a guy. It's like the first guy on our team to get an open look is going up. And that's just so we can make the game fast and we can make the game entertaining. And that's just the way we play. Credit to all our guys who are on the team who can do certain things. And like Toby said, if our shots aren't falling, we have guys who can get to the paint and make our free throws. And so with these new rules, we want to definitely push it, try to get to the paint a lot, and just try to put as much pressure on the defense offensively as we can. And it won't really be as effective first half, but when they get tired, we don't get tired. And that's where we're going to separate ourselves from a lot of guys in this league.
On the flip side of that, with the new rules, how much of a challenge has that been for you guys to adjust defensively, how to play that way?
Definitely for me, it's been a big adjustment. I'm a guy who likes to, when I'm off the ball, to reach in there a lot. And it's just taking me some time to get adjusted to it. And it's making me slide my feet more and have to actually be a better defender technique-wise. And I definitely just think we all need to just keep taking our time and keep going at it in practice every day of playing the right way and practicing it the right way. And it won't happen 1 game or 2 games, but, we can't just succeed layups just because we don't want to get a foul. I think that's selfish on our part. And I definitely think that sometimes tonight I let guys go because I didn't want to get that second foul. And that's selfish, and that's something that we can't have on this team.
Two more from the student athletes.
Yeah, defensively, the game's completely changed. So, we just got to keep listening to what the coaches tell us, play with our hands back, move our feet, and do what we have to do to stop the ball from getting to the hoop. Obviously, today, like Wop said, I felt like we were being a little selfish, letting them go to the hoop and not contesting their shots. That's just going to come with time. We just got to keep listening to Coach Matt and get back to the fundamentals and just keep working at it every day.
You guys have worked a lot on defense during the offseason. Coach says you still got to work to develop a defensive identity to go along with your offense. I guess how do you make that next step and do that?
I definitely think that falls on Jeff and I as captains to bring our own energy and to bring our own focus every single play, and to just lead our young guys. We have a lot of young guys, and it's a process. Everything's a process. We have to keep our confidence up, and we have to just try to get better every day. That's the only way I can really put it. But it comes to starts in practice. That's something that Coach Mack and I talk about every day. That I can't come to practice with a bad attitude or, down. Every day is an opportunity to get better, and every day matters. And one thing we need to work on is that every possession matters, and that's what we're going to do. So, this was the last chance to get some things out the way. We rest our bodies tomorrow, and then we hit the drawing board Sunday, and, we go hard as if, it's the first day back, from the off season. And, we watch film and we study, and, we come back and we make adjustments.
Joy, Mac.
Questions for Coach?
I guess overall, how do you think you handled, obviously, some of the new stuff, new rules?
I think every team in the country, even teams that return a lot of players, are trying to find out, defensively, what can you get away with? You know, what's going to be allowed, what's not going to be allowed. So now you take our group, we got all these new faces. We're trying to develop an identity, but we're trying to do it within the rules, which, you know, as Wap said, you know, at times we're just pulling our hands back and we're not fouling. And you know, there are times you've got to maybe let him go. And what I was disappointed is I didn't think our challenge at the rim was where it needed to be, and we got caught up a little too far up the floor at times, where we weren't giving the guards enough help. So I think we need more activity out of our front line players. They got to be two places at once, and that's something I think we can work at. But you know, we're going to have to score. This team's going to have to score because we've got some youngsters out there that are going to develop, and you know, but it needs to be better than it was tonight. You know, it's the first half they didn't get to the line, we got to the line. The second half we got to the line even more, but we put them in the bonus, and that's something that I think if we want to get to where we have to be, we've got to make them earn everything.
Mac, you're probably not worried about where you're at offensively, but I guess Saturday, what did you think of the way Maurice and Malik and those guys kind of pushed the tempo, even on the baskets?
I didn't think Malik pushed it the first half. I thought he did the second half. I thought Wap did a good job the first half. The second half, as he got tired, the pace wasn't where it needed to be. But, you know, Maurice is always going to do a good job, I think, running the team. I was pleased, you know, between Tyler and Malik, they had 7 assists, 1 turnover in 21 minutes of play between them. So those are good numbers. You know, when we're giving him a rest, we need consistent play. And I just thought Malik, and the reality of it is all these new guys were nervous. I mean, they were jittery in the locker room. So, you know, some of what took place, certainly you could point to the fact that they needed to put a uniform on in front of the fans for one time. But I thought Malik really settled in the second half, was much more aggressive, and still made good decisions with the ball.
How much of a concern is the performance, I guess, rebounding-wise tonight?
It was better the second half. The first half, it seemed like every one of those little bounces around the rim and off guys' foot ended up in their hands. But you know, I've got to watch the film to see what the physicality of our blockouts were, and you know, we have to try to correct that. You know, we're not blessed with a bunch of guys that are going to the top of the square to get the rebound. So technique-wise, we have to be pretty solid, and I think that's an area that. After this game, I think the guys will listen a little closer maybe in that area because we did do a good job against Missouri rebounding the basketball. And you know, it's 2 games in a row we've taken care of the ball, and we've had twice as many assists as turnovers, and you know, we've scored 100 points in both games. So you know, so far so good on the offensive end. We just have to clean some things up in some other areas.
How'd you think you did? You threw a little press at him at the start of the game. You threw some zone at him at the start of the game.
I thought some holes in the zone probably allowed him, when we got up 16-4, whatever it was, probably allowed him to get back in it. And you know, Upper Iowa's not a team you would zone because that's what they do. You know, they shoot it so well that they spread you out. But I wanted to have it on film just so we had an ability to teach against someone else. So it probably wouldn't have been a team I would have used it against a lot had we, you know, had the game counted. But there'll be some good teaching points, and you know, we played 11 guys, I think, double-figure minutes. So you know, everybody will have an opportunity to learn, and certainly we can't. I don't anticipate playing that many guys, that many minutes. That'll work itself out over time. But as you saw tonight, most of the guys that played had some really good moments. Now, most of them that played made some mistakes, but that's our challenge as a coaching staff, because it's kind of been that way in practices. You know, some days one guy's got it going, the other guy isn't playing great, and the next day it's totally flipped. So I think my quest is to figure out who can be the most consistent, and you know, we started the guys that have been the most consistent. You know, Isaiah would probably be added to that group. He's been very consistent in practice, but he's just missed quite a bit with injuries.
I guess, given the emphasis you put on defense during the offseason, was it worry at all when you say that we still got to You gotta develop more of a defensive identity at this point?
No, I mean, we've got to be able to trade blows defensively until we can throw a rainmaker at them offensively. That's who we're going to be. I mean, we don't have great shot blocking. We've got more length than we've ever had, but it's comparatively to who we're going to play in the Big East, our length is probably still towards the bottom. So we have to get better on our technique, and I think our positioning has to improve. But I think, Piv, I think right now it's these guys are trying to figure out what can I do and what can I do defensively, so that you want to be physical, you want to be aggressive, yet you don't want to foul. So those don't really go together. So being able to have a physicality to your defense and your demeanor, an aggressive demeanor, to do that and not foul at the same time is very difficult to do. And that's what we're trying to learn. And I think we'll get better as time goes on. And I think certain combinations are going to be better than other combinations, and that's what we're sorting out as a coaching staff right now. Thank you. Have a good weekend.